Have you ever wondered, is it possible to live to 100 and still maintain mental clarity, vibrant health, and a youthful spirit? In the modern world, where aging often means illness, weakness, and dependence, this question might seem like a pipe dream. But Dr. Mark Hyman doesn't think so. In his book, Young Forever, Doctor, Hyman paints a completely different picture of aging, not as a time of decline, but as an opportunity to live more deeply, more healthily, and more joyfully than ever before. With decades of experience in functional medicine and holistic healthcare, Dr. Hyman lays out a concrete roadmap for slowing down, or even reversing, the biological aging process. The book not only inspires, but also offers practical strategies that are easy to implement and firmly grounded in science. From diet, exercise, stress management, and sleep, to finding a purpose in life, each of these factors is a critical pillar in building a long, fulfilling life. And the best part? You don't need to be a healthcare professional. You don't need expensive devices or high-tech therapies. You just need to understand your body, respect it, and make the right choices every day. This summary will guide you through the 5 pillars of longevity and vibrant health that Dr. Hyman presents. Each section will not only help you understand how your body works, but also offer simple changes you can apply today. A journey of timeless youth isn't just a dream. It begins with what you're about to read and the choices you will make. Slowing down the aging process, confronting reality, and making the first changes. As we saw in the previous section, youth is not necessarily tied to a number on a piece of paper. It can be a state of body and mind. If you understand the aging process, what accelerates it, and how to slow it down. To begin the journey of forever young, the first thing we need to do is face the truth. Most of what we call aging is actually the result of an unhealthy lifestyle and a lack of understanding of the biological mechanisms inside our bodies. Let's start with an inspiring image. In a mountain village in Sardinia, Italy, known as a blue zone, elderly men and women in their 80s can still be seen herding goats, tending to gardens, and laughing in local festivals. They climb hills as if they are ageless, converse like young people, and, most notably, very rarely visit the hospital. They not only live long lives, but they live healthily until the very end. This is what Dr. Hyman refers to as healthy aging, the number of years in life that you live without chronic illness, without relying on medication, and without needing a caregiver. In contrast, the World Health Organization's statistics paint a grim picture. On average, the last 16 years of a person's life are tied to disease, fatigue, and declining function. This is not a natural law. It's the result of the disconnect between modern humans and their own bodies. So why does this happen? According to Dr. Hyman, the deep cause lies in the fact that the body's natural self-healing program is no longer working effectively. Our bodies are programmed to heal themselves. But modern lifestyles, lack of exercise, poor diet, prolonged stress, and poor quality sleep have paralyzed this miraculous ability. The body ages when cell regeneration doesn't happen quickly enough to replace old cells. DNA is damaged, leading to mutations and serious diseases. Mitochondria decline, causing a noticeable drop in energy. Essential proteins are altered, affecting the function of every organ. Chronic inflammation quietly destroys cell structures day by day. What's unfortunate is that instead of supporting the body's regeneration from within, we focus too much on managing symptoms. Painkillers, sleeping pills, blood pressure meds. These things temporarily make us feel better, but do nothing to address the root cause. Dr. Hyman asserts, aging is not inevitable. It is a process that can be influenced if you know how. And the great news is, you don't need advanced laboratories or a personal doctor to make this happen. You only need to return to the basic habits that humans have known for thousands of years. In Sardinia or Okinawa, people don't have gyms, supplements, or smartwatches, but they eat natural foods, live close to nature, move every day, and always maintain a deep connection with their communities. That's the healing lifestyle the body needs, and these are the very principles Dr. Hyman recommends to reactivate your internal rejuvenation system. In the following sections, we will dive into the 5 foundational pillars that help slow down and reverse the aging process, starting with the most fundamental and important, nutrition, the foundation for all long-lasting and sustainable changes. Part 3. Nutrition, the foundation of longevity. Imagine your body as an incredibly intelligent biological machine. A machine that knows how to regenerate itself, heal itself, and always strives to keep you healthy. But for it to work effectively, you need to provide the right kind of fuel. And that fuel is food. But food is not just something to eat. Food is a message. Every time you eat, you are sending a signal to your body, whether it should repair itself or weaken, whether it should rejuvenate or gradually age. You're not just eating to live, you're eating to reprogram your life. Dr. Mark Hyman emphasizes, nutrition is the first pillar and the foundation of any journey toward living long and living well. Without proper movement, sleep, or stress management, nothing will work if you overlook what you eat every day. Unfortunately, in modern society, many of us are eating in ways that harm our bodies. Ultra-processed foods, refined sugars, reused frying oils, all of these are driving aging from the inside. According to statistics, 93% of Americans have metabolic issues, and just 10% of their diet coming from ultra-processed foods significantly increases the risk of death. That's a number not to be ignored. So, the question is, how should we eat properly? How can we eat for longevity? The answer doesn't lie in some magical diet. It's much simpler than that. Return to what truly is food: fresh vegetables, whole fruits, nuts, beans, fish, and extra virgin olive oil. The very foods our ancestors ate and lived healthy for thousands of years. Dr. Hyman once said, "If your grandmother wouldn't recognize it as food, then you probably shouldn't eat it." It sounds humorous, but it's spot on. The closer food is to nature, the less harmful it is, and the richer it is in nutrients. And the most important thing is variety. The more colors and different plants you eat, the more you provide your body with a treasure trove of antioxidants and enzymes that help regenerate cells. Moreover, you're also nourishing a vibrant ecosystem inside your body. Your gut microbiome. Inside your gut, there are hundreds of trillions of bacteria. It may sound unbelievable, but they are silent allies. They assist with digestion, regulate hormones, manage emotions, and, most importantly, enhance longevity. One type of bacteria that Dr. Hyman particularly emphasizes is Akkermansia mucinifila. This bacterium helps protect the gut lining, reduce inflammation, and support cancer prevention. But you can only nurture it by eating right. Lots of fiber, leafy greens, whole grains, beans, nuts, and fermented foods. On the contrary, if you consume refined sugars, canned foods, and industrial oils, you are encouraging harmful bacteria to grow, leading to a host of chronic diseases. Another common misconception is about fats. Many people still think eating fats is bad, but the truth is, it's not. The right fats, like those from avocados, salmon, walnuts, and olive oil, are absolutely essential. They help the brain function, regulate hormones, and effectively reduce inflammation. What you should avoid are industrial fats and oxidized fats, typically found in fast food and deep-fried items. And lastly, perhaps the most profound point, eat with awareness. We don't just eat because we're hungry. We eat because we're bored, stressed, or due to habit. But eating in this way is eating to forget yourself, not to nourish yourself. Before you eat, ask yourself, is this helping me rejuvenate, or is it shortening my lifespan? Food is a choice, and that choice repeats itself every day. Eating right is the first act, and also the most powerful act, to regain control of your aging process. And once you understand the role of nutrition, once you've nourished your body from within, the next step is essential: movement. Because the body was made to move, and moving properly, regularly, is one of the oldest secrets to longevity that both science and tradition agree on. Let's explore the second pillar in the forever young journey: physical movement, the free, rejuvenating medicine that is available in every step you take. Physical movement, the free, rejuvenating medicine. After nourishing your body with truly healthy foods, the next step in the journey of longevity is physical movement. It sounds simple, but truly, this has changed the lives of many people. There's a story that Dr. Mark Hyman shares in Young Forever. He met an elderly woman in the mountains of Sardinia, one of the areas with the longest-lived people in the world. She was over 90 years old, but every morning she woke up before dawn, climbed hills, watered plants, tended to the garden, and herded goats. When he asked if she ever worked out, she smiled, a warm smile. Then she replied, "I've never been to the gym, but I move every day." And indeed, that was true. Movement isn't always about running or lifting weights. Sometimes it's as simple as getting up from the chair, walking around the house, climbing a few steps, or cooking a meal by yourself. Your body is designed to move, and when you stand up, you're sending a signal to every cell that says, "I'm still alive, I'm still growing, I'm not ready to age yet." Dr. Hyman calls movement a kind of natural, rejuvenating medicine. No prescription, no cost, but incredibly powerful. Just by walking for 30 minutes a day, you can improve blood circulation, activate the lymphatic system for detox, boost brain function, and most importantly, slow down the aging process. No need for marathons, no need for fancy equipment. You just need to start. And if you want to go further, doctor, Hyman suggests 3 main types of physical activities that help keep your body strong, flexible, and youthful, just like the centenarians in remote mountain regions. The first is aerobic exercise, activities that increase your heart rate. You can jog lightly, walk briskly, cycle, swim, dance. As long as you're active regularly, 3 times a week for about 30 minutes each time, that's enough to activate your entire circulatory and nervous systems. These activities also boost dopamine, the feel-good hormone, making you feel happier and more clear-headed. The second is strength training, exercises to maintain muscle mass. Because as you age, you don't just lose hair or eyesight, you lose muscle. Muscles are a sign of healthy aging. People with good muscle mass tend to have a strong immune system, better blood sugar control, and are less prone to falls or degeneration. You don't need to lift heavy weights. Just use resistance bands or do push-ups, squats. As long as you maintain at least 2 to 3 sessions a week. The third is flexibility, something many people overlook, but it's incredibly important. Your body doesn't just need strength, it needs flexibility. Try yoga, stretching, or simply reaching your arms after waking up. Don't let your body rust just because you've been sitting too long, because a flexible body also means better energy flow throughout. And the best part is, when you move, not only do you become healthier, but you also sleep better, have less stress, a stronger immune system, and a more positive mood. Your body will thank you, not just in the moment, but for many years to come. So don't wait for inspiration. Don't wait for the perfect time. Walk after every meal. Stand up every 30 minutes of sitting. Choose the stairs instead of the elevator. And remember, every step you take today is a step towards a healthy old age tomorrow. And once you've eaten right and moved regularly, you've activated the first two pillars of longevity. But there's one silent enemy that you need to understand and control if you truly want to live long. That enemy is stress. In the next section, we'll explore why stress can make your DNA age faster and simple ways to help your body. Find peace from within. Stress, the silent killer of longevity. After you've nourished your body with good nutrition, after you've activated your energy with regular movement, there's one more thing, very important, that you cannot overlook if you want to live long and live well. That is, stress. Stress is a part of life. A little pressure helps us stay alert, flexible, and react faster. But when stress becomes a lifestyle, when your mind is always in a fight or flight mode, what happens then? Your body thinks it's in an endless battle. It releases adrenaline, cortisol. Your heart beats faster, blood pressure rises, the immune system is suppressed, and day by day, these hormones silently damage cells, break down DNA structure, and accelerate aging. Dr. Mark Hyman calls stress the silent killer of the 21st century. One of the worst long-term consequences of chronic stress is that it shortens the telomeres, the protective caps at the ends of DNA strands. Imagine telomeres like the plastic tips on the end of shoelaces. If that part wears down, the lace frays. And if telomeres shorten, DNA gets frayed, disordered, and cells stop replicating, leading to disease and premature aging. Many studies have shown people living in chronic stress have much shorter telomeres than those who are not stressed. In other words, they are aging faster than their actual age. But the good news is, you can reverse that. No pills. No need to withdraw from life. All you need to do is learn how to rest from the inside out. One of the simplest ways is breathing. It may sound ordinary, but breathing properly is like a switch that helps your body shift from stress mode to relaxation mode. Try the Take 5 method that Dr. Hyman suggests. Simply stop, breathe in deeply, and breathe out slowly. 5 times. You can do this when you wake up, before meals, or before bed. It only takes a few minutes, but it gives you a sense of relief, like rebooting your mind. If you want to go further, meditate. You don't need to sit cross-legged for an hour. Just 10 minutes a day, close your eyes, focus on your breath, and let everything settle down. There have been numerous studies showing meditation helps reduce inflammation, improves memory, restores the nervous system, and increases longevity. Another equally effective method is journaling your emotions. When you write down your worries, frustrations, or even joys, you are releasing pressure from your nervous system. You're washing away repressed emotions. And the great thing is, it really works. Many people who have suffered from chronic stress, by writing regularly in the morning or evening, gradually felt balanced again. No one can avoid stress. But you have the power to choose how to respond to it. You can let stress drag you down, or you can learn to breathe deeply and move on. Because when your mind is calm, your body starts to heal. Calmness is not a luxury gift. It's the foundation for long-lasting health and longevity. And when you've learned how to nurture your body, move every day, and keep your mind light, there's just one more thing, the most profound thing that helps you not only live long, but live meaningfully. That is purpose. In the next section, we'll explore why the longest living people in the world always have a reason to wake up every morning, and why living with purpose is the secret to eternal youth that science is beginning to understand. After you've nourished your body with good nutrition, after you've awakened your inner strength with regular movement, after you've learned to calm your mind and manage stress, now it's time to touch on something deeper than all of that: purpose in life. It may sound abstract, but this is the final pillar in the journey to longevity and youthful living, according to Dr. Mark Hyman in Young Forever. And he believes, a person with a reason to live can endure anything. Imagine this. There are two people, both 85 years old. One wakes up early, makes tea, waters the plants, and waits for her grandchild to run and hug her. The other lies alone, with no one waiting for him and nothing to look forward to. Which of them has a stronger heartbeat? Which of them is truly living with every breath, not just existing? In Okinawa, Japan, one of the places with the highest concentration of centenarians in the world, there is no word for retirement. Instead, they have a beautiful word, ikigai, which means a reason to wake up every morning. Ikigai doesn't have to be grand. It could be tending to a small garden, cooking lunch for a neighbor, teaching children traditional dances, as long as they feel valued, connected, and like they are contributing to the world. In that sense, the sense of living with purpose is what helps them age gracefully, still smiling when the sun rises, and still feeling their hearts beating slowly but fully. Dr. Hyman cites numerous studies showing people who feel their lives have purpose live an average of 7 years longer than those who don't find purpose in their lives. 7 years. Not just a number. That's 7 more springs, 7 more birthday candles blown out with grandchildren, 7 more occasions to say thank you to life. But purpose in life doesn't just appear. In modern life, where everyone is busy, we sometimes forget what truly makes our hearts beat with passion. We get caught up in work, responsibilities, deadlines, bills, expectations. And then, at some point, when everything quiets down, we suddenly ask ourselves, what am I living for? Every morning, where am I headed? That's not an easy question to answer. But you don't need to answer it right away. Just start with a small action. Give something away. Dr. Hyman tells the story of one of his patients, Mr. Walter, 72 years old, widowed, who had lived alone for many years. He came in not because of any specific illness, but because of a fatigue without reason. He didn't want to go out. He had no appetite. He couldn't sleep. But his health indicators were normal. After several talks, the doctor asked, "Is there anything you feel you're still good at?" Mr. Walter sat in silence for a long time. Then he said, "I used to train police dogs. I understand them. I can teach any dog to be obedient." That's it. But it was enough. Dr. Hyman suggested he try volunteering at an animal shelter. After just a few initial sessions, Mr. Walter began smiling more. A month later, he proudly announced he had trained 2 abandoned dogs to prepare for adoption, and 6 months later, he was healthier than a year before, not because of medicine, not because of dietary changes, but because he found a reason to live. None of us need to be great to have a purpose in life. You don't have to save the world. You just need to help someone, touch something that makes you feel alive. You might choose to cook for the poor, volunteer to walk dogs, teach children to read for free, share your life experience with younger people, Or simply, call an old friend. Anything that warms your heart has value. And you know what? Living with purpose is also a natural stress reliever. When you feel like you're creating value, you stop overthinking, you stop comparing, you focus on giving instead of getting, and you begin to live lighter, fuller. Psychology calls this the flow state, when you get so immersed in something you love that you lose track of time. And in that moment, you activate brain regions that produce dopamine, oxytocin, and serotonin, the hormones of joy, connection, and youthfulness. Remember this: a healthy body is not just built by food, exercise, or meditation. It also needs the belief that you are living for something greater than yourself. So, if you're seeking a long and meaningful life, don't just ask, "What should I eat?" Ask, "What am I living for?" Worn in now, with all 5 pillars explored, from nutrition, movement, stress management, sleep, to purpose in life, you have the map to living long, staying youthful, and living deeply. In the final section, we will look back on this entire journey to understand that living healthily to the very end isn't a distant dream. It begins with simple things. And from today, conclusion: living long is not a dream. So, we've gone through this journey together, from the meals we have every day to the simple steps we take every morning, from the deep breaths we take amidst the busy life, to the moments when we ask ourselves, "What am I living for?" Dr. Mark Hyman's book, Young Forever, doesn't promise us grandiose things. He doesn't say you'll live to 150 years old. He doesn't claim that you'll never age. But he offers us something greater: the belief that you can choose how you will age. You can age in pain, fatigue, and dependence, or you can age with a smile, vitality, clarity, and peace. You can choose to live longer, not just in terms of years, but in the quality of each of those years. Because aging is not a sentence. Aging is a journey, and that journey can be much lighter if we know how. We've learned that nutrition is not about extreme dieting, but about returning to real wholesome food. Movement doesn't have to be intense. It just needs to be regular, correct, and integrated into daily life. Reducing stress doesn't mean retreating from the world, but learning how to breathe, meditate, write, and know when to stop. Sleep is not just for resting, it's when your body repairs, regenerates, and miraculously recovers. And purpose in life: what makes your heart beat stronger, what makes you want to wake up each morning, is the final secret that keeps you younger than any method. Dr. Hyman once said, "We don't just want to live long. We want to live long and still be healthy, still love life, still have enough energy to hug our grandchildren, to travel, to laugh, to love, until the very last moment." And all of that can start from the smallest changes. You don't have to change everything in one day. Just start with a cleaner meal, a 20-minute walk, a short journal entry, or a deep breath at the start of your day. Just one step, but a real one. Weiss, I know you may have heard many times the words, "live healthily." But unlike the general calls for healthy living, Young Forever provides us with a clear roadmap, grounded in science and close to real life. You don't need to become a nutrition expert. You don't need to buy organic food every day. You don't need to become a meditation master or an athlete. You just need to understand that your body always wants to recover. It doesn't work against you. It's just waiting for you to allow it to live properly. And if today you feel like you're getting old, sick, or it's too late, remember one thing: it's never too late to start living again. Because longevity is not just determined by genetics, it's also determined by the daily choices we make. And that choice is in your hands. Thank you for joining us on this journey, a journey of understanding, awakening, and hope. If you found these insights valuable, please share them with the people you love. Because longevity is not just a personal journey, It's something we can build together, inspire each other, and preserve across generations. Wishing you good health and wishing you eternal youth from within. If you found today's journey valuable, if the lessons from Young Forever have made you want to slow down, look deeper, and love your body a little more, then don't hesitate to leave a comment below. Share what resonated with you the most. One thing you want to start changing, starting today. And if you're thinking of someone, a friend, family member, or parent, someone you wish could also live long, live healthily, and live happily, send them this video as a gift, because sometimes the right words at the right time can change a life. Don't forget to hit the follow button so you don't miss the next journey with us. Here, we'll continue to explore more about the body, the mind, rejuvenation, healing, and living with meaning in the modern world. Thank you for listening until the very end. I'm channel name, and this is the place where you're reminded that you deserve to live long and live well. See you next time in the next journey.